Hi guys, it already don't scatter everywhere for social media, mate. It's like APC never happened to Nigerians again. The truth is out. All the APC propaganda to pull Peter Obi down has been exposed. Come and see how APC doctored 4 audios and put it together in one place just to bring Peter Obi down. APC should know that we are in digital world and not analog. Guys, watch this video and hear things by yourself, and don't forget to share your thought with us.
About to refer the conversation within the Labour Party is whether or not this was doctored or manipulated. Some people like Kenneth Okonkwo has alluded to the fact that the conversation was indeed manipulated. But I'll take a tweet from, I believe, Watchman in a series of tweets showed how the audio could have been doctored. I mean, this is one of the tweets. They wrote, "A quick scene edit detection check on Adobe Premiere Pro reveals that the audio has indeed been manipulated." Premiere Pro was able to detect 4 different audios that have been put together to form the 4 minute, 17-second audio clip. Rufai, I'll come to you first. The first thing I thought about when I heard the audio clip, I wondered, could it be Peter Obi that released the audio, or could it be the bishop that released the audio? And I said to myself, I doubt it is either of them. I mean, why would they want to compromise themselves? And I realized that it could have been tapped into, like you always say. Yeah. How is it possible that whoever it is, Nigerian government or whatever it is, are able to tap into this type of audio, and our girls are in the field? Boko Haram can kidnap our girls, and they cannot trace audio clips like this. This is my first thought. This is one of the biggest arguments I had last night when I heard this audio.
Speaks volumes. And as regards even they cannot trace, I think there was a French journalist, if my memory serves me right, and when I say if my memory serves me right, I might not have the correct recollection of the incident, that was said to have first broke the story about, when Shekau had died and the fact that Boko Haram rival groups, were having a big fight back and forth amongst themselves. I think it was that French journalist, he had actually tapped into the telephone network of those terrorists, to be able to see what was going on. One thing is certain, people can tap into telephone networks, but what does the law say about it? People have a right, Section 33 of the Constitution, to their privacy. And that also involves telephonic conversations and the likes. So, number one, that's illegal. Secondly, when you look at it deeply, I talked about political season and deep fakes.
Yes.
I talked about it about a year ago.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people are also saying probably there's some element of that, there's cut and all of that. But like I said this morning, I think it behoves on those involved. And like you pointed at that thread of tweets from Watchman, to be able to now get an independent forensic verification, to be able to know what really happened. All right? If the Labour Party camp has said, no, that's not us speaking, that it was doctored and all of that, and the APC say, no, it's true, it happened and all of that, I think it's incumbent on us to get an independent forensic verification into all that happened. The Labour Party also went ahead to say that they've receive intel about the specific attacks. I think they must be able to name, and people, who they suspect might have done this should be taken to court. But generally speaking, things are overheated as regards religious tension and ethnic tension as we speak. We must not have people inflaming those tensions, all right? Not for any gains possible. I totally condemn that aspect. But as regards this, more forensic work has to be done. There's been multiple reactions. I mean, part of the reaction that first came was that Kenneth Okonkwo's reaction, that some people said, he was confirming it. But he was saying, probably that was taken out of context.
No, I think he was saying that the audio was manipulated, saying that the conversation was not thoroughly.
So truth has to be told. Whatever it is about this conversation, it should be subjected to forensic test so we can ascertain what it is. Then people can now put out a very robust position about what truly happened. Because this is not the first time. If you remember too, there was another conversation that was said to have been leaked that a couple of PDP people were speaking. But obviously, that was a bad job at manipulation because it was so clear that if you have an ear for audio, you know they were just cutting and joining and cutting and joining. And when you take it through deep fake websites, you'll see. And for the clarification of our populists out there, there are many websites at which you can verify videos when you see them to be able to know if they are
audios,
different. Yeah, so there's deepware.ai, and there are a couple of other ones. Just Google on if you're in doubt and just put it. And also check through timestamp to be able to verify and ascertain how the video was tagged, the date it was originally made as against the date people are trying to claim, because you have a lot of these manipulations going on at peak political season or after politics like this.
All right. Dr. Bati, so many conversations, but I would like for you to maybe start with Bishop Oyedepo's clarification. Now, if that video was actually, or the audio was true, I mean, he came out to say that, he's never had to do that for any Nigerian politicians. But we know that in politics, politicians go to, either clergymen and, clerics to help them canvass for votes. I mean, I feel like it is normal. I'm not too sure about that clarification by Bishop Oyedepo.
The big thing that needs to be established is first the authenticity of that audio. Was it manipulated? Is this a case of artificial intelligence being used to inflame passions, to label persons involved? And of course, both from the Peter Obi side and from Bishop Oyedepo's side, we've been told that, look, this was tampered with, right? And even if that conversation took place, because I tried to listen to what is even in circulation, I really don't see what this mountain out of a molehill is all about. Bishop Oyedepo is a prominent in Nigeria, is a person of influence. And as he pointed out in that other video that you showed while he was in church, he said, look, politicians come to him. People come to him for advice. We seem to have forgotten that he's first and foremost a citizen before being a pastor. And, he can advise people, he can talk to people. And the tape that I listened to, I tried to listen very well. I didn't see either Peter Obi or Bishop Oyedepo trying to incite anybody. You can, during campaign season, people go to anybody they consider a person of influence to solicit for support, to look for endorsement. It's done all over the world. Okay, why is this big issue about Peter Obi talking to Bishop Oyedepo? Do we know how many other people he spoke to? He said he was in Offa. And at in Offa, the person he spoke to there was even a Muslim. So he spoke to Muslims, he spoke to Christians. Okay, why is nobody saying, during Friday sermon in some parts of the country, some Muslim clerics directed members of the congregation to vote only for the Muslim ticket? I'm sure if you search very well enough, in other instances, you will find something like that. So I really don't see what the big deal is all about, other than an attempt, to cast persons in bad light. And of course, immediately, Bishop Oyedepo has shaken it off. And the the Labour Party spokespersons, they've already put a lie to this. And that was why I said earlier that spokespersons should go and find more serious things to do. Being a spokesperson is not a lifetime job. The ones that are idle among them, if they don't have a job, let them begin to write applications so that they don't continue to eat up the polity. There must be something that a man can do other than just engaging in needless, unsolicited volubility. Right. Beyond that, the other point I want to make has to do with the legality of it. Because some people, this is the third time today we're discussing this subject. They say, let the politicians expose themselves. In fact, they should bring more audios. It's a very good entertainment for us. That if they don't want people to listen in on their conversations, then let them not say they want to be president of Nigeria. The principle in law is volenti non fit injuria. In other words, if you don't like heat, don't go near the kitchen. But the fact that a man puts himself in the public space for service does not mean you violate his right to privacy. And we have listed on this program a plethora of laws, from the Ground Norm, Section 37, to laws like the Freedom of Information Act, Article 14. There's even a Data Protection Bureau in Nigeria. Okay? Consumer Protection, Child Rights Act. In all of these laws, you can't just take somebody's telephone conversation and you circulate it. You can't even be sharing somebody's WhatsApp message to you to make the person look bad. You could be sued. And if the people are saying, no, let us expose every telephone conversation. No, you will destroy society. if we have a country of eavesdroppers and people don't know their limits. That's why you have lawyer-client privileges. That's why you are a medical doctor is not obliged to disclose to Mr. C the medical record of Mr. A. So, but I see that this is generating a lot of entertainment. Already I've seen some people say, Elupi, yes, daddy. Obi Nwanne, yes, daddy. Obi Keterente, yes, daddy.
Yes, daddy.
So Nigerians, they create humor out of everything. But let's look at the serious issues and just be serious.
And Audrey, real quickly, it's a good thing you raised Dr. Abati. It's a very serious offense.
Yeah.
One of the oldest newspaper, News of the World, went down because of a phone hacking scandal. A girl, Milidala, was missing, and she was later found dead. And it was reported that News of the World actually hacked into her voicemail to be able to copy stories. And there are many people so they took News of the World to court. And because of that, the paper, perished pretty much.
All right.
So to show you that that's a big offense, and people should be very, very careful. Let's not just condone illegalities, please.
Well said, Rufai. Well, in the same vein, the Labour Party has discredited any affiliation with Obiajulu Uja, the man who was arrested over the weekend after he disrupted a flight that was heading to Lagos from Abuja. Obiajulu was said to have been unruly to other passengers prior to boarding the flight. Upon embarking, Obiajulu began yelling at the top of his voice that the president-elect, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was never be sworn in as president on May 29. In a video that went viral, airport security were seen removing him from the plane as he constituted a flight risk. Obiajulu was then heard calling out on obedience for help.
I'm sorry. Tinubu cannot be sworn. So you need to leave the plane. You need to leave. You're a security threat. You need to leave. You need to leave the plane. Obedience, yeah, don't do this to me. Obedience, yeah. Hold this up. Obedience, yeah. Obedience, yeah. I am naked. Obedience, yeah. I am naked.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, Dr. Abati, I mean, this was such a sad scene to see over the weekend. And I believe the first time I saw this video, I thought to myself, obviously there's something wrong with this man. But I believe his lawyer has confirmed that he is mentally challenged. And, there are some reports of whether or not he was, sacked at work because he had been unruly to, people as well. But also the treatment he received. I believe that his lawyers have condemned the treatment because at that time he was asking that, his client should be taken to a hospital because he was brutalized and all of that. But, as we say, mental health is also a big issue. But I thought I should highlight the story because obviously he was calling out on obedience. And, the Labour Party has also said that it's some sort of propaganda that has been circulating that this man is, was probably hired or alleged to be hired by the APC to show that obedience are disruptive or something like that.
Well, I mean, the incident is unfortunate. The thing in aviation, the first thing is safety. So if you have a passenger who may pose threat to the operation of the aircraft or to other passengers that are on board, then of course, the airline, has a responsibility to ensure that that person is evacuated without necessarily brutalizing the person. But the first consideration in this case will be safety. The second point will be that, yes, the profile of the man has been in circulation. A lawyer who even rose to the position of a deputy manager in a bank before he began to have health challenges. So certainly he needs help. And, that help should be provided for him. The third point to be made here is that speaking generally, because, I mean, this is not the first time we're hearing about people reacting, whether someone who is physically well or not. There was a story in circulation about somebody committing suicide.
Yes.
Because a party lost the election.
I took that story
That's
too.
extreme reaction. Or somebody saying, oh, I will personally not allow the inauguration to take place. That's also extreme reaction. I think ordinary Nigerians, no matter how emotional they may be about their personal preferences, should know that election is not war. It will be won and it will be lost, and Nigeria will remain. And we're going to have another opportunity in 4 years' time to make another decision.
Absolutely.
If the people of Nigeria make mistakes, it's part of democracy to make mistakes. Learn your lessons and move on.
Well
because
said.
the country is bigger than the individual ambitions that may be at stake.
Well said, Dr. Bati. Well, we'll take our final story. The Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, has debunked a viral video showing men pushing one of the train sets to be deployed for passenger operations for the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Blue Line, recently commissioned by President Muhammadu Buhari. Well, in a statement, LAMATA stated that they discovered that after investigation, that the train was clearly moving and that from the average length of the train, even 20 people can push it. And so those 4 people purportedly pushing the train were behind the train doing God knows what. They described the video as doctored. Well, let's take a look.
See, and I push the push up. This is Lagos, so now the Molo way they say they don't commission. Nine be this. Nigeria, you can never have it right. See, they push Molo for up. So that's how the train gonna go for road. The zone all lights go finish. They'll call the pusher like this. My guy, this country now 0. Dead on arrival.
Rufai, dead on arrival. Go ahead.
I mean, as regards the train, they have come out to say the video was doctored. Like I always say, with all videos, subject it to that ground rule of a forensic analysis. And that's the order of the day as regards this. But apart from what LAMATA has said, I think at this point in time, we must be able to get an audit of how the project is going. When is it going to be delivered for the people? How much face have we gotten to now? Because what I'm just concerned about with the train is that it should be fit for purpose, be working so that people can be able to use it and it ameliorates challenges.
Absolutely.
So those are the things we should have a blow-by-blow account. So part of the message LAMATA also released, they can also tell us the stage we are now, because after the grand launch and everything, we also hear they're going to be building power stations as regards because it's going to be electrified. Have they been able to do all of that? Where are we now as regards this? A blow-by-blow account so that people can know, okay, there's an eventual date. I want to get on that train. It's as simple as ABC. But that video also should be checked
Absolutely.
forensically.
Dr. Bati, you have 10 seconds.
Well, nothing is impossible in Nigeria. The country never ceases to surprise us. But the video, LAMATA should also fact-check it, as we always say on this program.
Absolutely.
Fact-check it.
Absolutely.
But what the people expect is just efficiency.
Very well
good
said.
service.
Well, thank
very
you
much,
both
Engineer.
for your
Thank you
great
so much.
analysis, as always, on What's Trending.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.